Almost everyone has dreamed of earning passive income without having to do anything. One option is dividends. I calculated whether it's realistic for an investor to live off dividends and what kind of portfolio is needed for that. Before starting a discussion about dividends and investments, it is important to understand how much money you are currently earning and what financial goals you are setting for yourself. Suppose your current annual salary is $60,000 per year. In the context of dividends, this is the amount you need to replace with passive income. When we talk about living off dividends, it's important to consider that the yield of your investment portfolio plays a key role. If your portfolio's average annual yield is 5%, you will need a capital of $200,000 to receive $60,000 per year. But how do you reach this amount? Let's figure it out. Many people believe that dividends are the ideal source of passive income. But the truth is that passive income, in its classic sense, doesn't really exist. Companies can stop paying dividends at any time for various reasons: economic difficulties, changes in management, government sanctions, or the emergence of new competitors. Therefore, it's important to understand that dividends are an additional income, but not an absolute guarantee of stability. Stocks are divided into two main types: growth stocks and dividend stocks. Growth stocks belong to young companies focused on development and reinvesting profits into the business, so they do not pay dividends. Dividend stocks, on the other hand, belong to established companies that confidently occupy their market niche and are ready to share profits with shareholders. Let's look at some examples of dividend stocks. Johnson & Johnson pays 2.7% annually, Coca-Cola 3%, ExxonMobil 4%, and Intel 2.5%. Different companies pay different dividends, and this must be taken into account when creating your investment portfolio. It is important not only to choose stocks with high yields, but also to diversify your investments to minimize risks. High dividends do not always mean a good investment. For example, a company may be experiencing difficulties that cause its stock prices to fall, but dividends remain high for the time being. You need to invest in reliable companies with good fundamentals, not just high dividends. Companies paying high dividends can face problems, and if their stock prices start to fall, it can negatively affect your portfolio. Investors have a powerful tool called compound interest. Suppose you find a reliable company and invest in its stocks. After a year, the stock price rises and dividends increase. If you reinvest the dividends, your capital will grow through compound interest. Imagine you bought company shares at $100 each, earning 5% annually. If the company continues to grow and the share price increases to $200, your dividend yield will double. This is a simple example of how compound interest can significantly increase your capital over time. The formula for achieving financial freedom consists of 3 key steps. Step 1. Investing in reliable companies. Start with companies you believe in and whose products you use. Study their fundamentals, such as profits, debts, market share, etc. This will help you make an informed choice. Step 2. Reinvesting dividends. Instead of spending dividends, reinvest them back into stocks. This will allow your capital to grow faster thanks to the magic of compound interest. Step 3. Regular investments. Try to regularly invest a certain amount of your income, for example 20%. This will help you gradually build up capital and achieve your financial goals. Investing is a long-term process. The more you earn and the more frugally you approach your expenses, the more you will be able to invest. Over time, your capital will grow, and dividends will be able to replace your salary. For example, if you start investing $700 per month and regularly reinvest dividends, over a few years your capital will increase significantly. and dividend income will become a noticeable part of your budget. When you start calculating the amounts needed to achieve financial freedom, the numbers may seem daunting, but you don't need to have the full amount right away. It's important to start small and gradually build up capital. For example, if your portfolio initially has a yield of 5%, over time you can achieve a 20% yield due to the growth in stock prices and reinvestment of dividends. In this case, you will need only $300,000 to receive $60,000 per year. Your active income plays an important role in achieving financial goals. Try to increase your earnings and save funds that can be invested. This could mean upgrading your skills, changing jobs for a higher paying one, or starting your own business. Saving is also important. Avoid unnecessary expenses, invest in your future, and don't spend money on fleeting pleasures. When you receive dividends, you have a choice. Spend them or reinvest them. Reinvesting dividends allows your capital to grow faster. For example, if you bought shares at $100 and received $5 in dividends, you can buy another share, increasing your future income. Over time, this process will significantly increase your capital and dividend income. I will give an example of compound interest in action. Imagine you bought 40 shares of a company at $100 each, and your total investment was $4,000. With a 5% yield, you will receive $200 in dividends for the first year. Reinvesting these $200, you buy 2 more shares, and now you have 42 shares. Next year, you will receive dividends on 42 shares, accelerating the growth of your capital. When choosing stocks, focus on companies you understand and believe in. Diversify your investments by putting money into different sectors of the economy. This will help reduce risks. For example, you can invest in technology stocks, consumer goods, and energy companies to create a balanced portfolio. Achieving financial freedom and living off dividends is possible by following several very important principles. Invest in reliable companies, reinvest dividends, and regularly add to your capital. Patience and discipline will help you achieve your goals. If you want to build your initial capital but feel that you lack financial literacy and knowledge of investment strategies, I suggest you subscribe to my channel and write the word investments in the comments. I will send you a detailed guide on investments and an effective strategy with 3 ways to invest your money so that it generates passive income for you throughout your life, all for free. The money will truly start accumulating in your accounts, and you will have more of it. Check it out. Write investments in the comments and start learning.